seems like
This seems like a tough nitpick by you. This is too much.
No, it's not.
You're a well-actually guy right now.
They've wasted how many points now in overtime starting the wrong guys.
But what do you want them to do? Because
start the best players on the ice. Willie was the best player for the Leafs by far. You start him in overtime. Sure, he played a little bit down the stretch. Willie takes 1.5-minute shifts all the time. The guy can do it. You put him on the ice, like you want to make sure Tavares gets a chance in overtime. What are we talking about here?
But
put the best guy in the game in the most important time when it's about skating against a fast team.
Yeah,
it's insane. Like, and obviously Marner and Riley can't do it together. Because now they get scored on every single time. What was it?
1-8. They're 1-8, I think.
Yeah. Heading into last night, but it wasn't Matthews that they started with last night.
Yeah.
They went Tavares, Marner, Riley, and Marner, Riley, and Matthews have scored. Had 8 goals scored on them, and they've scored once as a trio in overtime.
My overtime take is that teams, and the Leafs look this way to me, seem too insistent on the idea that it's going to be like the NBA where you're going to get your turn. So you just like back up and retreat and like collapse in and let the other team do their thing. There's like zero aggressiveness to go at a guy. I just can't believe how slow defenses will let the opposition just kind of have the puck. Like, I still think you can play with tempo and go try to get it back sometimes.
You know what's weird for me with it is I just view so much of the regular season now as a test for the playoffs, right? Like today,
that's this year. I wrote about that today, by the way.
So last night, the big story for me, Leafs-wise, was, hey, actually, this is kind of a positive because Matt Murray played really well in a game that is replicable in a playoff series where one team has it more than you that's really good, really talented.
Mm-hmm.
They outplay you for essentially 60 minutes, right? Leafs started, you mentioned it. The first 5 minutes, I went, oh, my God, they're going to beat the brakes off the Devils and they're frauds and the Leafs are good. And then the rest of the game was like, oh, my God, the Devils are legit.
Yeah.
Matt Murray bailed them out with a ton of saves throughout the entire game. And then the Leafs got a bounce.
Yeah.
And I went, that's the playoff formula.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need. Goalie makes 30 saves. He outplays the other guy.
Yeah.
You were in it. Once you get to overtime, my brain kind of just goes into like, who cares? This is
what the Leafs do. I know. But these are points.
But so it's the difference. It's a difference between playing Boston and playing Tampa in the first round is 2 or 3 points.
Hey,
great.
When the Leafs get there, when the Leafs get to that point at the end of the season, and I can be reflective about it and go, oh crap, you kind of forget that extra point mattered. Just to me, the goalie got them a point last night.
Mm-hmm.
So the extra one was like, they never deserved 2. They didn't deserve 1. They got the 1.
Yeah, you'd love to have a game. I can't remember the last time we came in here and the Leafs deserved 0 and got 2. Because you could say last night they deserved 0. I'd be fine with that take. But I can't remember the last time they just got away with 1 cold. It just doesn't seem to happen.
I think last night was as close. Yeah, because their goaltending has been pretty bad for quite a long stretch.
You're right. But what's crazy last night is watching Murray is he made, I don't know what it was, 30-some saves.
He was an athlete last night.
He was awesome last night.
But but is there not still moments? So to me, and Sam, you and I mentioned it briefly on the postgame show, but there's a shot in the first period where he's so wide that his glove's so low that it's like a one-hopper as a shortstop, like he get caught off the front of the lip of the infield. Mm-hmm. Like he just kind of gets jammed a lot. And that happened on the first goal where, sure, clean shot, you don't expect him to have it, but he's falling forward instead of sitting back. And I remember Piero Greco being with the Marlies, he's the Islanders goalie coach now, talking to the goalies about not falling forward, not being on top of your skates, being on top of your skates, not on your toes. I feel like Murray is a lot like that.
I think that's fair. I also think that right now, you got to remember the lens that we're looking through this through, which is, oh my God, the hurt guy who always get hurt did it again. And now he's back and he better not blow it. This guy better not blow it. And so everybody's watching it kind of, if I think we're being truthful, a lot of people are looking at this to fail.
Yeah.
Because if this fails, it's the more compelling story. It's like, oh, Kyle Dubas can't get goalies right.
And most people will be right, too.
And you're right. So, and it's also like the sooner it happens, the sooner they can move on.
That's if Twitter goes away. Then how will we know who's right?
Wow. That's exactly it. Wow.
Where's the record?
Well, then you just go to the
argue about it
you
in
go
a
to
bar.
the media and say, well, actually, we know more than you.
No, you just get to go back to the old thing where you sit by a bar and argue about who was right.
Yeah.